Well, those who have had near-death experiences, I've had some in operations and things like that, but it has been researched medically for 30 years. I myself wrote the first article, I think, in a medical journal about out-of-body and near-death experiences in the Journal of Duodecim in Finland, about near-death and out-of-body, and it became because a psychiatry docent, which is like assistant professor in Finland, attacked when I had written the book There Is No Death, which is an international bestseller. So he attacked and said that people that have out-of-body or near-death experiences are 80% alcoholics and drug users, and you can only discuss this when you're at beach or going fishing. I just blew my top. And so I wrote to it was a conservative Uusi Suomi magazine in Finland, number 2. It doesn't exist anymore, even if it was 150 years old. And I wrote that doesn't the assistant professor of psychiatry read international literature, because already in 80 American Psychiatric Association's meeting I read, there had been a lecture about these. So that is not, at the beach or going fishing. And after that, it was very interesting because we had I think he's still alive, psychiatry professor of Helsinki University, Kalle Akte. He put into the board exam of the psychiatrists 6 questions, and the 6th question was out-of-body experiences. And he told me himself that not one doctor could answer the question. Interesting. And then Duodecim, the research medical magazine in Finland, very respectable, asked me to write an article about this. And I was so furious, I said, I'm not going to write anything to you. And then I realized, hey, wait a minute, they're offering me a chance to write in a medical magazine the first article. So I just wrote 2 pages hastily, but it's the basics are there. So, things are old. From 83 this was. And now they're coming out, and still psychiatry DSM manual states these states as dissociative states for, mental disorders. It's crazy, because they help the system to keep the lid that we are spiritual beings and we have extreme power, and they're afraid of that. If all the masses realize this, they don't have a chance anymore. And that's why it's, no, it's crazy, it's mentally ill. And now they have a chance to take every person in the world to the mental institute and drug them, if this draft goes through, like the psychiatry professor said of DSM-4. So there are very good psychiatrists too. They're good psychologists. They're good cops. They're bad cops. Bad psychiatrists. And I think it's interesting that the doctors who commit suicide, according to research in Finland, so they do 4 to 5 times more suicides than so-called general population. Why? That's a good question. Anybody can answer. You have to go into yourself and ask, why is that? Is it because they realize that they have been suppressing the true being of a human being, and they have to, because of their job, just to label normal people into psychiatric cases? Or what is the reason? I don't know. One should ask them. But they're gone to the other dimensions. And I think when you are in the other dimension, out of your body, and you can't come back because your body is dead, that will, change a lot. And I believe some of them come back in the next reincarnation to do things good, because they've realized that this is not the way to do it. Because when you're out of your body, you realize that you're part of the universal energy. You are one. And therefore, the limitations of A4 and this is it and this is it, no, it doesn't hold. Like a female psychiatrist in Helsinki once said to me, when I was trying to bring out the outer body and near-death experiences and contact with the energy of the dead, She said it's normal to have number three. Maybe she was recruited, I don't know, for an intelligence agency, but 3 weeks you can feel the energy, or maybe even see your dead relative, but then it's pathological. I mean, can you imagine they make rules like that? It's crazy. Because your energy never dies. And those who are sensitive, they can be in contact, and they can get information, and they can get even information about the future. They can get information about what is going to happen to you. Watch out for this, don't go on that plane or whatever, because big things are predicted from before. So that is not a mental illness. But psychiatry has to change, and not the way DSM-5 is going to do it.
No. So we just make it up for people to make up their minds and choose what they want.
That's right, absolutely. And I would say that if people realize that this hand gives them enslavement, robotics on this planet, and this hand gives something else, you realize you're eternal, you're an energy, you have extreme power, you can change your family, you can change your relatives, you can change your environment, but you need to do it with love. And that is very, very difficult. If they harass you, if they, deal with the negative things.
But they're great teachers, so you have to love them. Always love your great teachers.
I know, you are very, very smart in saying that. I thought of it that somebody who was very dear to me was complaining about, it was my stepdaughter actually, and about why the father was, my husband, how he was like this and this and this and this. And all of a sudden it hit me that, hey, you chose, your soul, your energy chose him as your father, because now you have come up, you wanted to show all the time something to him, that you were good even if you were female, because there was a son in the family, and the son, of course, is, for male, son is something, and females are less. That's a false attitude we have on this planet, especially in Muslim countries. So the girl just went up in her career, really, and the boy was just very mediocratic. And if the father hadn't been like that, sort of not accepting so much the girl, what she was doing, she wouldn't have done it, but she wanted to show. And that happened to me too. I mean, I had a father who had no sons, so I had to sort of, I'm going to be as good as your son would have been, And in this way, the person who is doing something negative actually is your spiritual teacher, and teaches you to raise your vibrations and be something, and maybe learn something from the world. So many things are not what they seem like to be, and we don't realize it. We don't, in normal, somebody is evil to you, you don't think that he's actually doing a good thing. We just take the negativity.
Yeah, but fear is actually just, you can say, it's an alarm clock saying, hey, you must be going in another direction.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
just a stop sign and say, this is the wrong way.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
in the other direction.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.